Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk. Let's talk Laker basketball. Since my last video, a lot has transpired. Lonzo walked away from a fight. We'll get into that. Lakers lose to Phoenix. Kuzma got a career high. KCP had a bonehead 2-on-1 play where he pulled out, went up for a three. Got some issues and some fixes for Walton and how we can get back into playing good basketball. First off, I want to talk about, since my last video, Lonzo had a disastrous game. The world, the news, the media, everybody is watching Lonzo's every move. So based on that, he actually did well in a sense coming back to Phoenix, or coming back in that Phoenix game and crawling out of that disastrous game, in my opinion. I call it a disastrous game because his shot affected basically everything else that he does well for the team. So in this game, he ended up with 6, 6, and 6, something like that. Referees missed a goaltending play and he missed a bunny at the rim. He almost should have ended up with like 10, 6, and 6, which is about where Lonzo should be as he progressed. I think long term, Lonzo Ball is going to be around average, a career average of like 13.2, 7.9 rebounds, 8.9 assists. That's what I see Lonzo Ball going for, and that's valuable. That's extremely valuable. In addition to his good defense and everything else, and just being a floor general, I think that's good for us, and I think that's where we want Lonzo. We don't want Lonzo doing 1 for 7 from 3, 2 for 9 from 3. Okay, that's not Lonzo Ball's game. In fact, after that disastrous game, I was like, I wanted to put Lonzo on a 3-point diet, and he did that. Not that he listens to me probably, but he didn't shoot not 1 3. I think he took 1 3 like a 70-footer, which in my opinion doesn't count. Lonzo Ball played extremely well. I think it was like 3 for 7, whatever. Fine. It was baby steps in the right direction, in my opinion. If you watch Ben Simmons, that's the other night, Ben Simmons had like 23, 12, and 8. He didn't take not 1 3-pointer. Obviously, Ben Simmons can dominate his defender easily and get to the rim because of his size, but Lonzo doesn't have that capability. But that's where Lonzo needs to kind of grow and work towards higher percentage shots rather than taking the 3, and he'll be valuable for us. When he gets later in his career, if he gets comfy shooting the 3, then you need to kind of up those a little bit. But for now, chill on the threes. If you do take 3s, limit him to 2 misses, in my opinion. But Phoenix played well. They came out, and in that particular game, I'm not going to pinpoint any particular player. Phoenix basically just was like, we're not going to lose 3 times to the Lakers. And they came out determined. The night before, they got blown out by the Rockets. So they just played at another high level of intensity than we did. And we couldn't match that. So it was close, but, it was one of those games where we just didn't do good defensively as well as we could have. And the attention to detail that I think Phoenix brought to that game was a little bit higher than the Lakers. And so, we're going to have those games. I'm not tripping on that particular game. Kyle Kuzma had a 30-point game, a career high. In my opinion, for all you older cats, Kyle Kuzma reminds me of Cedric Ceballos. All right, this guy who has had great basketball skills. For a 6'9" guy, can get to the rim, baseline, do different things, hit the 3. I think that's a good comparison for Kyle Kuzma. If Kyle Kuzma, and obviously he is, in my opinion, capable of being that Cedric Ceballos for the Lakers right now. Shout out to Kyle Kuzma for balling out. KCP had a bonehead play. Okay, we were getting on him all game. He seems to have, a lot of people calling out his low basketball IQ because of some of the bonehead things. I'll talk about that in a second, but that one play, 2-on-1, he pulls it out for a 3. Now, it's every single game, it seems like KCP is gradually going AWOL out of the offense, whether it's coming, like pulling up for 3s quickly, pulling up for 3s in transition. I don't know. It's like he's got the green light, and I don't think somebody gave him the green light. That's how I feel. If Luke is giving KCP the green light to just pull up and do anything he wants, then we need to scale that back, in my opinion. And that's on Luke. And then comes the moment where he gets in a fight with Tyler Ulis, and then Lonzo walks away, and everybody making a big deal about that. So here's my take on that. You know, in a general sense, you know, a player gets into a scuffle, you're going to have all the guys try to go break it up, right? I give Lonzo Ball a pass. Why? Because Lonzo Ball, in my opinion, is on a whole nother level in the sense that he's trying to get right. I think ever since that Portland game when everybody was calling him out, now this is my opinion. I thought Lonzo Ball was playing well, good enough. He was on a progression. And after that Portland game, everybody called him out. I didn't personally call out Lonzo in that Portland game. He went 0 for 2, but played extremely well. And we played Portland really, really good on their home court, right? That was my takeaway. Okay, Lonzo was doing everything else. He was rebounding, he was assisting. We had Lopez playing well that game and a lot of other players playing well that game. Lonzo Ball was still in the game. He wasn't in the game from a scoring standpoint. But after that game, everybody called him out. Luke Walton, the coaching staff, media, everybody was like, you got to shoot more. And you could see instantly in the interview, Lonzo was like, you know, it's kind of it's going to be difficult for me, but I'll try. I'll have to shoot more. I have to do more, right? I think ever since that game, you can see the downward spiral of Lonzo Ball really having the media get in his head. And it's in the sense that he tried to score more. He's tried to shoot the 3-ball more. He was forcing all these threes or doing whatever, and it just wasn't happening, right? My point here is, since that game, Lonzo has been in a funk mentally. And so right now, he's at that disastrous game against Philly, his head is not on non-essential things, okay? I read a lot of motivational books, okay? If you want to be successful in life, and Lonzo Ball is basically like that, somebody pointed out, he's like a Kawhi Leonard type of personality, which they're so focused on something, we don't know what it is. They basically focus on a lot of stuff and not on the non-essential stuff, right? So in that moment, if you think about the psychology of what's going on in Lonzo Ball's head, in that moment, there's a scuffle between Tyler Ulis and KCP, and Lonzo probably thinking, man, I should be having 10 points right now. He's probably thinking, you know, why am I in this situation? Why am I should be playing better than I'm playing. He's not thinking about Tyler Ulis and KCP mean mugging each other, which he knows is not, it's a non-essential aspect of his life, of his priority at that moment. You got to get into the psychology of people in order to know what's going on. In a normal sense, if Lonzo Ball is having fun, and I mean, we're gelling for like 2-3 months, and that particular thing happens and he walks away, then you're like, Lonzo Ball, why didn't you help them out? In this particular aspect, Lonzo Ball's focused on other stuff. All right, so it's not about Lonzo Ball being scared. If you saw Lonzo Ball flinch, and get smacked in the face and he didn't fight back, yeah, you could say he's scared. It's not about that. It's Lonzo Ball has a different focus. For example, you remember when Matt Barnes faked the ball in Kobe's head, right? Kobe didn't flinch. Basically, Lonzo Ball didn't flinch and Kobe didn't flinch. What does that mean? That tells you that they're not interested. At that moment, Kobe Bryant's thinking, why the hell am I playing for this sucky team? I want to get back to championships. Why do I have to deal with this scrub, Matt Barnes, throwing a ball in my face? Right? He's pissed off at his teammates. You know, he's probably thinking all types of things other than what's going on with Matt Barnes at that moment. Right? So all that around Kobe Bryant was non-essential stuff. All right? Kobe wasn't thinking of tripping about. He's thinking, why am I playing on a bad team right now, where Orlando was whooping my butt, and Matt Barnes feel that he can punk me right now? He goes, I should be at a whole nother level, like three-peating like I was a few years before that. That's what was going in Kobe Bryant's head. He was not interested in that. So that's the thing with Lonzo. He's on a whole nother level in a sense. I got to get right. Right? Why am I playing sucky basketball? I need to play better. He's not thinking about Tyler Ulis. So think about what's going on. Lastly, I want to give my thoughts on Luke Walton. A lot of people question Luke Walton's rotations and things like that. I'm giving Luke Walton a longer period of time, some consistency to see what he does with his rotations. I think he's trying to figure things out. Luke Walton is still trying to test things. You know, he had his first year last year, and this is his full year with the new team. I say give him a couple months. You know, give him a few months before we start saying, Luke, you're messing up, right? I believe Luke Walton is trying some things. When he like sat Lonzo in the fourth, I just think he's trying some things, and he's trying to figure things out. And a lot of people are right, where he's not a great coach in a sense where he's making good in-game decisions, and he's you know, there's some misses where he would leave Julius Randle in too long, and we get out rebounded or whatnot, and so forth, and why didn't he come back with this player, and why did he leave that player out there? Yes, that's all valid. But I think what we got to do, Luke Walton got to start with the basics. We got to get back to playing team basketball and trusting each other. All right, and what I mean by that is we drafted Lonzo Ball to be this person to transform or transcend the game in a sense that we haven't seen before, right? We see him do it in high school, college, and in summer league, and parts of this season, right? You gotta let Lonzo control the game and move the basketball, and we gotta feed off of Lonzo. We always used to talk about the Lonzo effect. That has gone out the window. There's no Lonzo effect anymore. It's because, in my opinion, Luke Walton has slowly let guys take that away. All right, basically everybody's going AWOL. When Jordan Clarkson gets out there, he's going for his numbers. When Julius Randle comes out there, he's going for his numbers, right? He's on this last year of his contract. KCP is also playing. It's like, screw this, I'm playing for a contract myself. And then Lopez is just out there taking three-pointers. Brandon Ingram is doing his thing. In my opinion, Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram are the only ones that really plays well with Lonzo consistently. And it's like, because they seem to be playing in the system where I think everybody else is just going AWOL. And it's weird. I like how when Bogut's on the floor, he does his thing. He doesn't try to score. He does whatever he does defensively and stuff like that. But in my opinion, we got to get back to running a system of where everybody is bought into what we are doing and who should have the ball, which is Lonzo Ball. Stop looking off Lonzo Ball when you get a rebound. Give the ball to Lonzo. When every single time somebody brings the ball up, are they looking for the outlet pass? No, Lonzo Ball's head is he's looking 2 passes beyond that. Good things happen when the ball is in Lonzo Ball's hand, right? So now Lonzo Ball, it's got to be in his hand. Let him create, let him play fast, and let him run the team. On half-court sets, I don't mind other players taking the ball in aspects, but Lonzo Ball has got to run the pick and roll sometimes, and the pick and pops. We know that he's good at that. So let him do that sometimes. It's not about always letting Lonzo Ball, but good things happen. That's what he's there for. We're not, you take away Lonzo Ball, now everybody's trying to get their numbers, and we're basically a 27-30 win team, where we're gonna win sometimes, but it's gonna be lackadaisical sometimes, and then we're gonna struggle sometimes, and we don't have this. We gotta progressively go towards this new type of system where everybody's buying into this, where you can look back and you can see where it started from. I think it started in some aspects of this year, but then it got away from Luke Walton, and a lot of players are getting away from it. I use this analogy. It's like back in the day when you had war, right? You had lines. You watch these medieval movies, and everybody's like, hold the line, hold the line. Basically, if everybody breaks off of that line, now everybody's getting killed, right? It's because you become weak once you break the line. Lakers, in my opinion, have broken the line, and that means everybody's going off trying to get their numbers, trying to take their man one-on-one. And if you hold the line, meaning the analogy would be holding the line in basketball would be playing the system, trusting your teammates, making the extra pass, not worrying about your numbers, but trying to get that guy that extra look and trying to find the right play or make the right play to get the right play and score the basketball and grow into the system. I think everybody's like missing that point. So that's my thoughts right now on the Lakers. Hopefully Luke Walton, I'm going to give him time and see if we can get that back. But I think that's the reason we drafted Lonzo Ball. Yeah, are there things Lonzo Ball needs to improve on? Of course, right? His scoring, being more aggressive when he goes for layups and things like that, finishing with a strong hand. He's got to work on those things, and I think he will. right? He's not immune to mistakes. He's making a lot of mistakes. And obviously the outside jumper. But from that aspect, everything else, we got to start and stay. We got to hold the line, in my opinion. That's my thoughts on what's going on with the Lakers and Luke Walton. I'm going to give him some time, probably after All-Star break, until we start looking back and analyzing what he's been doing. Anyway, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, and subscribing. As always, follow me on Twitter at MikeSportsLA. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.